Hello and welcome back to Kita's Creation. So today we're going to make an apricot face scrub. This is an all natural product and the exfoliating ingredient that we're going to be using today. Well, there's two of them, but the first one we're going to be using is walnut shell. And then we're also going to be using green papaya powder as our exfoliating agent. So to get started, what you guys are going to need is about 5 grams of glycerin. So let's get that weighed out. All right, so it went over a little bit at 5.1, but that's fine. And you'll need both 1 gram of xanthan gum as well as 1 gram of methyl cellulose. So I know I discussed this in another video. So you'll need about 1 gram of both that and your xanthan gum. And this is going to give it that thickening kind of gelling effect. So let's start with the xanthan gum and weigh out about 1 gram of that. All right, so I'm a little over. Let me see if I can take a little bit out. Just a little bit. I don't think it's going to make a huge difference, you know. It says I'm at 1.3 and that's fine. So I'm going to mix this in and add in our 1 gram of the methyl cellulose. So I went a little over with that too. I'm going to try to take some of that out. So we're at about 1.2 with that, which is fine as well. Obviously, it's not going to be enough xanthan gum in here to cover all of the powders that we just added in, but that's fine because we're going to also add in some Natrasil. And this is a natural form of like silicone, and it gives the product a little bit of slip. So I'm going to add in about 3 grams of Natrasil. All right, so we're going to mix this in. And this is going to be, like I said, this is going to be what thickens the product. So next up, and don't worry if there's still a little bit of clumps in here because we are going to use our mixer to blend them out. So next up is our water. And you need about 100 grams of water as well as 60 grams of aloe vera. So I'm going to start with my aloe. And I have a really big jug of aloe vera juice. I don't know if you can see that. So we'll do 60 grams of that. All right, so 60 on the head with our aloe. And I'm gonna go ahead and mix that in to get it incorporated. And it should start to thicken somewhat. It's not gonna fully hydrate just yet, but you will begin to see it thicken a little bit. All right, so now we need 100 grams of water. All right, so you're at about 100.1, which is fine. And you're just gonna mix it all together. And this is gonna go over heat. So whether you put it over a slow heat on the stove or if you just put it in the microwave for about 30 seconds, you know, it just kind of helps to dissolve and hydrate the powders that we have in there. So that's what I'm going to do, and I will be right back. All right, so this is going to be kind of just like a one bowl recipe. So I've already warmed this up. It's not like hot or boiling, but it's just warmed all the way through. So now that we've added our water and our aloe vera to that, I'm going to add about 10 grams of oil, and use whatever, oil of choice you want to use. So 10 grams of olive oil is what I have here. And I like adding, oil because it gives you the, natural like fats that helps to moisturize and soften the skin. So we're just gonna mix that in. And next, after our olive oil, we're gonna add in all of our other ingredients before we completely mix it. As a matter of fact, I think I'm just gonna blend this now. So I'm gonna take my mixer, since I have the oil in here. I'm just gonna go ahead and blend this, and then I will add our papaya and everything else. So I'll be right back. I'm gonna zap this really quick. So after you zap it with the mixer, it's gonna look more like this, kind of like a custard almost. It's nice and gelled, which is what we need to give that glide with our mask, so it'll just kind of go over the face really easy. So now let's add our exfoliating ingredients. And what I typically add to this is I have these papaya seed capsules, and because they are in capsule form, I'm just gonna add 2 of these capsules to the mixture. So that's 1 and 2. Next up, and this is where we're gonna need our scale again, so I'm gonna turn this on. We are going to need about 2 grams. I'm sorry, I'm on the wrong thing. So we're gonna need about 5 grams of our papaya powder, which is what I showed you guys in the beginning. So we're gonna need about 5 grams of this. So that's what I'm gonna weigh out. And papaya, as you know, has natural enzymes that help to exfoliate like dead skin cells. So it helps to naturally remove those. So I'm gonna put 5 grams of that in. So we're at exactly 5 grams. Now our next exfoliating ingredient is going to be this walnut shell powder that I mentioned before, and we need about 13 grams of that. And I know it sounds like a lot, but trust me, I've already made this several times, and I think it gives just enough like exfoliation to the skin when you're washing your face. So you're going to need 13 grams of this walnut shell powder. So that takes us to about 10, so almost there. All right, so we're 13.5, which is fine. So now that we have all of our exfoliating ingredients in, you want to add a little bit of moisture to this as well. So I'm going to add some panthenol. And with my panthenol, I'm going to add about 2 grams of panthenol, which is going to help moisturize the skin. All right, so we're at 2.4, which is fine. So I'm going to take this off and just kind of stir these in. and you want to get it all like really well incorporated before you add your surfactant to it. And as you know, a surfactant is your sudsing, soaping, foaming agent. And I like to use only natural surfactants. So one of the most gentle surfactants that, in my opinion anyway, there's a few gentle natural surfactants, but one of the ones that I prefer for this particular face wash is foaming oats. So we're going to use, and of course it's entirely up to you how much, sudsing agent you want to add to your mixture. But I'm going to add, typically you can add anywhere from, I would say maybe like 20 to 50 grams. So I'm going to like just see kind of where the viscosity is as I pour, and we'll just go from there. So I'm going to put this back on the scale. And then we're going to add in the foaming oats that we have here. And this will be one of your very last steps before you add in your preservative, okay? And this should come out to a pH of about 5.75. So let's start adding in our surfactant. So I'm going to add, and I think I'm going to go with about 20 on this. All right. So 20.6. And you just want to mix it all in together. And I know it looks a little bit on the thicker side. And if you want to thin it out and add a little bit more, what am I trying to say, like sudsing factor to it, I would add maybe a co-surfactant. One that you really don't have to like add like water to would be like foaming apple, and I have a little bit of that left, so I think I'm going to add a little bit of that as well. So let's see, with foaming apple, since I did 20 on the foaming oats, let's see where it takes us. So I'm going to say maybe 15 to 20 on the foaming oats. On the foaming apple. So we're about, let's see, 18. Yep. So that takes us to 20.9. So in total, I used about 40 grams of surfactant. And of course, you want to use the surfactant of choice, whatever you prefer. But I want you guys to see how this foams. So just give me a second. I'm going to put you on hold for just a minute while I go get the water so I can show you guys. So just a minute. Okay, so I have our water here. I just want you guys to kind of see how this works. And I'm just going to put a little bit in my hand here. And as you can see, it does suds up really well. And you can feel the granules from the walnut shell. So this is a really good exfoliant. All right, so that's pretty much it, guys. And again, as with any water-based product that you make, you want to make sure that you always add a preservative to it. And you want to check your pH. As I said before, this pH comes out to about 5.75. So you really don't need to adjust it too much, but I'll still always encourage you to check it. You always want to do your own research as well, because I think that's what most of us on here on this platform are doing. We're just researching and we're going off of the information that we find. So, just so that you can be sure that you're always getting the best and most accurate information, I just recommend you back up your research with your own, information that you find. So anyway, That's pretty much it. Thanks for watching Kita's Creations. Until next time, take care.